Good morning. Welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. We're gonna do a collective reading with our Synchronicity deck. I fear that the veil is very thin right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like the space between the spirit realm and the physical realm. I don't know if it's because people are awakening. I feel like it is. I had a very interesting presence in my astral travel last night. Also, I saw a bunch of orca whales going through like a canal. Like a lot of orcas. So, I don't know. We did have whales come out yesterday in that animal reading. And orcas hate billionaires. They've been sinking yachts a couple years. So that's valid. Oops, I don't like it that way. Protecting love just fell out. So maybe that's why the orcas were trying to say. I'm gonna do at least 3 rows of these because I love these. So as they come, we'll take them. Move you back a little bit. We're vibing over here. This is frequency music, if you can hear it. This is what we listen to when we sleep. YouTube has a fuck ton of them, and they're really long. This one's like, what, 11 hours? So you can listen to them when you sleep. Our surveillance technology likes to fuck with this though. My TV always turns off around like 2, 3. Cause they're like, are you still watching this? And I'm like, bitch, I'm sleeping. But other than that, okay, I guess we kind of have a lot here. Anything else? Should we start where we're at? I am not taking that giant stack, but I'll let it. Okay, we got faith in the bottom. Alright, let's hook these up quick, see what we have. Alright, I'm gonna put them. This is the reading. Let me set these out. No particular order. Why? Because these I read as a grid. So we do like chutes and ladders with these, sort of. This isn't straight. OCD. What is something that someone has told you about yourself that made you feel very confident and seen? Has anyone told you that before? Think about that as we go through these. Okay, then we have this. This is the one that fell on the floor and it's the last one standing. Raven, in the spirit animal deck, Raven stands for believing in magic, or like the unseen, trusting that. Ravens are also pretty significant of some of the old gods and goddesses, specifically Odin and Hecate, or Hecate. Just freed up a lot of space. Alright. What time? What? 4 minutes. Okay. So, as we're reading, we're reflecting on something or the things that we've heard from others about ourselves that made us feel good. Okay? Maybe not even good, but more understanding of who we are in others' eyes, I guess is a good way to say it, but not in a negative way. Because if it was negative, it was probably more than likely a projection, which has nothing to do with you. So someone giving you a compliment, or I don't know, just the two things I'm thinking of when someone told me I was authentic, they're like, I've never met someone so authentic. It's very refreshing. I've heard that a couple times from a couple different people. Your honesty is refreshing. And then I've also heard from my mother, when I'm very organized, and she said, you always have been. But it was like the first time she had ever acknowledged that for me, and this was like, 2 years ago? And that was kind of a turning point for me of like, And then I realized, oh, I'm autistic. Of course I'm organized. It's a special interest. But that helped me realize what my skills are. So, think about what it is for you, okay? We're gonna start with the Elephant, Finder of Lost Things. Elephant also came out yesterday in the animal reading. As a reminder, what was it yesterday? I don't remember. You can go check out the animal reading. It was really sweet. The two gentle giants came out first and foremost, so. Okay, so we have Finder of Lost Things. Maybe that's why I felt compelled to ask you to reflect on whatever. I'm making bacon, so I'm going a little slow. I gotta hustle. Alright, then we have Shaman. Maybe I just won't show every card. Okay, Finder of Lost Things, Shaman, Incantation, Delay, Home, Bloom, Teacher. Second row, Change, In Tune, Father, Love, Rest, Journey, Wilderness. Last row, Protecting Love, Roots, Speed, Retreat, Soulmate, Storyteller, Success. So there could be love. Divine unions are coming together. There could be delay with that. Delay is kind of right here. Delay is on top of love. I'll show you. In a column. This column is delay, love, and retreat. So there could be a divine intervention or separation or space right now. Space and time heal all wounds. So give it a minute. Alright. With Shaman, we have In Tune and Roots. I feel like I'm gonna have to go take out the cinnamon rolls. They smell ready. You know what? Burnt cinnamon rolls. Give me 1 sec. Reflect on Shaman, In Tune, and Roots. Be right back. They're indeed not ready yet. Okay. So, Shaman is for healing. This could also be speaking to this love situation because there's clearly love here. And Roots. So maybe the healing is being done in tandem, like especially if this is a divine union, there's probably some sort of telepathic communication or connection, energy, fluidity, right? And before this, the row before, Shaman and In Tune and Roots. But like whatever you guys are going through right now, either on a personal level or whatever, the reason I think that there's another collective awakening happening is because my sister's higher self showed up in my astral travel. My sister and I have no contact, and we haven't for years. I didn't even know she was capable of having a higher self, quite frankly. And so to see her in my astral travel was pretty wild. And we had a conversation about our relationship. Now, clearly that's a different kind of love, and I don't think we're in tune. But with the shaman, I feel like there could be like relationship healing. My sister was on my TikTok looking at my shit like last week. I blocked her again. So the only way she can get access to me is in the astral, which she did, but I don't think she did that. I think that was her higher self. Your higher self is your it's the best version of yourself. Actually, it was probably her guilty conscience. Based on the conversation we had in my dream, yes, it probably was. I looked her straight in the eye and I said, I haven't had any help. You know, you've always been, you know, fucked up over me getting some help, and I want you to know I haven't had help. So, thanks. That was our conversation. And then I saw the orcas. Right after that, I walked away from her and saw all the orcas in the canal. I was very, very lucid in my dreams last night. That's another reason I think the veil is very thin, because I was aware of what I was thinking about, which isn't always a thing. So anyway, you may be experiencing some phenomenon in regards to supernatural abilities or downloads or information or whatnot. Again, the spirit realm and as more and more people come into consciousness, as more people start to see the true evil, their heart is forced to make decisions on whether or not they want to participate in that. And yesterday was a pretty big day, especially here in the United States, with what happened with that man, Garcia, and the conversation with the El Salvadorian president. A lot of people were talking about that, and I think that shifted a lot of people's consciousness of like, oh, whoa, what the fuck, right? Remember that the relationship between good and evil is also balanced. So the more people are presented with evil, and remember that evil is the word live backwards, and devil is the word lived backwards. So the way to counter evil and the devil is to live fully in your authenticity, right? To allow yourself to be this home for yourself and others, right? And trusting your own journey, right? Sorry, I forgot I had cards here. I was just like, let me TED talk. But we do have change in protecting love with this finder of lost things, which is also speaking to what I'm talking about, what the collective is experiencing right now with the veil coming into consciousness, you know. I think it's really irritating when we've been experiencing, well, we haven't been experiencing it, we've been witnessing genocide for over a year and a half, and you know, one thing happens to one person. Well, there's two things that are really big in America right now. That little boy who got shot by the police, the autistic kid. Yes, I am aware my son is also autistic. And nonverbal. And that's why I don't do shit out in the world. The pathologizing, right? But the way people are talking about these two incidences with these two people is in a very intense thing. Again, because it's like we can only think about things when they're closer to us, right? Like these aren't people who are talking about Palestine, or maybe they are, right? But either way, I think that we need to stop being shocked about how evil shows up because it's very present. So, especially when it shows up as your sister's higher self, like, that's fucking weird. I mean, I don't think she's evil, but she's not very nice. She probably is evil. Anyway, moving on. It's not about me. Incantation. Whatever spell work or magic or protection you need to throw on yourself, do it. Fuck, man. This is a spiritual warfare more than anything. Well, it's very real in the physical, but the way that they power over you, again, thinking about the words lived and live, right? Being evil and devil backwards. Thinking about how we see them trying to take our life before doing it physically, through spiritual means, through subconscious, right? And we talk a lot about like brainwashing and propaganda and stuff in the hidden messages and media playlist. Mr. Hootie just put his hand on protecting love. See the little paw? So we need to protect love at all costs. That is the change we need to make. Okay. Anyway. Alright, and love is like fucking center of this reading. It doesn't have to be romantic love, but I think most of us want that. So, alright. With Storyteller, I gotta go check breakfast. I know I'm all over the place. I'm always all over the place. You guys keep coming back. You're used to it. Okay. Alright, the bacon's gonna be done in a minute, so I'm gonna have to leave again. But I'll always come back. Okay, we have rest here, and we have father energy and teacher. Whatever we're doing to remember that everyone's a teacher, everyone's a resource, we're all experts of our own experience, right? With the storytelling and journey as well. Journey, storytelling, and bloom are in a column together. Very blue cards. Blue is for your throat chakra, so share your story. I know it's taken me a really long time to be comfortable doing that, but with the internet, it's very easy. I think also we're all supposed to impact our own networks, and that's what helps raise the vibration. So it's not about how many people are tuning in, it's not about how many people understand you. It's just about putting it out there and letting it be there for others to find, right? With this finder of lost things, you know, don't think too much about it. I know there's a lot of conversation right now about how Gen Z thinks everything's cringe, and someone I read in one of the comments made a really good point, because one of the reasons I never wanted to be on camera was because of the way people use that shit against people, right? We didn't grow up with everyone having their own cameras. We didn't grow up with this, like, you know, embarrassing moments being broadcasted to viral audiences. Like, that was not a thing for us. So someone made that point in one of the comments about the conversation about Gen Z not doing anything or like not dancing and shit. And I really resonate with that because I didn't dance in college when we went to the bars. My friends all did, but I'm like, your dance faces look retarded, and I'm not doing that. Like, I am gonna sit at the bar and drink with the men. I'm not dancing. I don't want to dance. I don't want to dance. Now I dance. I don't care. But I think that's part of the growth, right? All that to say is, in the last 25 years, this has become a thing. And so instead of giving our power away by not enjoying ourselves, right? Like, that's like some devil shit. Live and lived, right? When we don't live fully, we're giving our power away, okay? And everyone's a teacher. Allow yourself to learn from others. Allow yourself to teach others. Everything is reciprocal, right? With this father energy here under incantation and speed, there could be a masculine energy learning about magic. This could be you, or it could just be the masculine aspect of you doing more ritual-based things, or not. I don't know. It could just be the protective energy within you as well. Father could be your relationship to Sky Daddy as well. I don't know, creator, whatever. But masculine energy is about doing, about action, about protection, about expansive being, or like doing, right? I left a comment on this guy This guy was like, yesterday on TikTok, he made a post about how women just aren't into men. And I was like, yeah, because you guys aren't stepping into your role. Like, he's like, 70% of women aren't dating. And I'm like, yeah, because we're holding this fucking invisible space for y'all to step into your fucking power, to stop being so low vibrational, to stop, being in this energy of others' opinions matter more than what you want. And that's a very important part of life. We all go through that at some point in our upbringing, in our growth. But the masculine collective as a whole, I mean, look at what these men are doing. Keep it so fucking for real. The people that are being raped, these children in Sudan and Congo are being raped 30 minutes. Children are being raped every 30 minutes. That's the statistic. That's being done by men. The president of El Salvador and of the United States coming together, and of Israel, the prime minister, those are men. Okay? We know that the IOF has women doing awful things as well. And those are women who are in their masculine energy. Okay? Masculine energy is the doing. Feminine energy is the being and the receiving. Okay? I gotta take the bacon out. Give me one sec. We still have cards to go over. Thank you, friends, for your patience. Okay. So we have soulmates here, we have rest, we have retreat, we have speed, we have roots, and we have wildness. I haven't even talked about this one yet. So there are aspects of magic here. This is a very much, everything we've been talking about, but this is like a very meshing of the unseen and seen here, with healing, incantation, raven, and wildness. Very much calling on people to tap into their magic. We all have aspects of that. But again, the powers that be have produced products and other things to make sure we don't have access to that. I talked about that yesterday. Oh, in the opening the third eye reading, go watch that if that feels like something you need. think that protecting love and roots, speaking to that we need to center love, all kinds of love too. I'm not just talking about romantic love, but love for ourselves and love for others, and make that our foundation for what we want in the world. I did also do a visualization of New Earth the other day, 2 days ago, and the animal reading from yesterday is also about that. So check out those. They are there for you. Again, no obligation. I'm just putting this shit here because I need to. It's my process, or my purpose. Why was I saying process? I mean, it was my process as well. It is my process. Every day we get a little bit closer to divinity. Every day more and more people are waking up and seeking truth. And I think when we become that truth for ourselves, that's, again, with this storyteller journey and teacher, you know, that's when we're gonna find success with ourselves and with each other. I think I've done enough yapping here. Alright. I'll give you guys a heads up on some of our prompts for today. Okay, so the first reflection question today was, think about a time that someone told you something about yourself positively, that made you like see yourself, right? Recognize things. And then we have the know thyself prompt here. Tell me about a time that you felt pressured. So that could be on the, you know, other side of the spectrum. The Spirit speaks for today is, taking care of myself is a radical act of love. Okay? And the inspirational insight today, release. When you let go of the past, you can see the future. Life brings hidden gifts. And then we'll do the shadow. I'll just do all of them. I'm not going to do the stress less. You'll have to watch that one. Just because there's like paragraphs, okay? I don't feel like reading that. But the shadow for today is betrayal. Healing begins with acceptance and forgiveness. And speaking to that, our energy, what did I call it? Energy expertise. I love alliterations. It was self-esteem. I possess the gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So figure out how to step into those things for yourself, okay? Love will come. Love for self is necessary first. Trust your process. Life is a journey. And when you're feeling called to rest, I would rest. Rest is very necessary for this process. Your body is literally changing coding and DNA, and like as you awaken into consciousness, your whole body is impacted by that. So rest when you feel needed, if you have the ability to. All right. Have a good one.